Stream health. We are live.
I actually think we're live. Well, yeah, you might know how long it's taken us to do this.
It's about 20 minutes.
About 20, yeah, at least 20 minutes.
Maybe a tad longer than 20 minutes.
And this is definitely, I don't know, was it Heath Robinson? I don't know. We've tried many devices. We are now on the GoPro, using the GoPro app, and not how we'd originally intended to start. So, okay, what we're going to...
Linked to the mole Wi-Fi network.
Wow, this is
or
definitely...
a mycelium, or some kind of magic somewhere.
We're definitely learning as we go on this. So where are we? We are... Is it Linear Park? Is this part of Linear Park?
This is still classified as Linear Park.
So we're literally, I guess, just off the edge of the industrial estate in Cinderford at the back. I can't remember what there's it's not a bog, what's it called? A quagmire? I have no idea. We're next to a nature reserve. I'm just going to switch the camera around so you can actually see where we're going. I just realised...
It is a quagmire everywhere.
It is a quagmire. There isn't an option to turn the camera around on here. Is it on there?
Where would I look? I can view the stream.
Bear with us.
Oh, there we are.
We're next to a nature reserve. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll just switch the camera around. So you can actually see where we're going. I just realised...
It is a quagmire everywhere.
It is a quagmire. There isn't an option.
Okay. So...
I'm hoping we're going to get a preview in a minute of the stream. So we're waiting to make sure it's lined up.
There was no preview and this is on a delay.
There, where there's a lag going on here.
Can I do... I want a preview really, don't I? I can't go back now, can I?
Okay, let's try that. Let's try
right. That's kind of what it looks like.
Okay, so we're gonna proceed assuming you can see where we're going, and if the camera were to slip out of sight, or suddenly go dark, it's because I've slipped coming up the bank.
It is super slippy.
Wow, this is pretty treacherous. Is that,
yeah.
Should drop the volume down so...
Yeah, where's the volume on here? That one? There we go.
Perfect.
Apologies.
We're getting there. We are learning. So, hopefully, you're seeing... I'm going to stop here for a moment so you get a sense of that profile. Can I refer to this as the Silver Birch Avenue?
Yeah. I think we need to move a little bit further up, actually.
Okay, okay.
It's not... Always looks better in real life than it does on a camera, doesn't it? There we go.
Getting better? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's quite the distance.
Check us out.
Let's go into it then, because obviously got a different perspective of the lens, and we are kind of now working blind, at least compared to the first live stream. I'm hoping it's in the right, it's definitely in the right mode. It's not a vertical, so you have to stand sideways to look at us, so that is an improvement.
Working blind is kind of how we roll though, isn't it? We are kind of fly by the seat of our pants kind of people, I would suggest.
Dynamic and adapting. Dynamic and adapting.
That's what you'd write in the CV anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Oh well, yeah, okay, so it's catching.
Yeah, no, that looks fab there now.
So this, if I remember rightly, is an old tramway. In this original, where we are was quite it was quite a major junction off the industrial estate of where I think it was I don't know if it was a station or whether it was just a junction where industry was using it for transport.
There was a station along here, I just don't know where it was sited actually along Linear Park. So I don't know if you can really see on that angle, but we are up on a really steep bank that drops away either side of us.
So what we'll do, if we go on a little bit further...
Into the quagmire, as you described it.
We'll pause and we'll look at either side, because it is quite an amazing vantage point for nature, and we're not being quiet enough to do any observations of nature.
Have you seen a heron?
We did see a heron just before we went live. I think it was just mocking us. What?
I was just about to say, but I don't know if it's suitable, that I think the heroine...
Perhaps not. Should we pause there?
I've had enough of our shit, probably. I thought, sod this.
They've been waiting patiently, so I'm going to come over to this side first.
Andrew always gets nervous when we're recording.
Oh, I've got the wind again, and unfortunately this, I know, because we're on the GoPro at the moment, and the wind does really knock the sound out.
There's a bird over there, but I think it's just a seagull.
Yeah, it's probably...
I mean, if you love seagulls, great, but...
This is a really interesting vantage point. I know I've been down here and seen fallow deer out grazing.
Yeah.
And it's especially evening and morning. But I thought I'd just quickly switch over to the other side. Don't know what we can see on the other side right now, but it will have water. Very, very wet, and probably part of the back of the industrial estate as well, depending on the shot. But you can get a lot of wild boar on that side. Just gonna carry on going up. So again, the idea of the live streams are to, I guess, to entertain you.
Find you with some entertainment
whilst being out in nature. Maybe the original concept was to peacefully and calmly be in nature, but I think it's us, and those moments will come. But once we perfect the concept of what the live stream is. But oh, this is magical to walk through.
I think this is one of my favourite little walks, actually, locally.
It's just on the back of the industrial estate. We've got so many, I don't know what, so many gateways to nature here, which are just straight out of town.
So we're saying something about the Silver Birch as we are walking down an avenue of Silver Birch.
Yeah, feel free. Only because I've gone blank.
Well, it's quite relevant, isn't it? Because we had one of our community wellbeing walks the other day, and we did actually do some Silver Birch tapping.
Oh, the one that I wasn't there before.
Oh yes, you weren't, were you? So Silver Birch is the Silver Lady of the forest. So she's a feminine energy, and just recently we took some sap from her, from one of the trees out at New Fancy. Yeah. And the sap has got lots of great properties. It's good for healing, and it's really good for a whole host of things. Actually, we had Duncan Cash with us out that day, and Cash is super knowledgeable about how nature can help heal us, and it had so many uses. In fact, the most interesting thing, and the one thing I can remember right now actually, is that you can ferment it and turn it into alcohol.
Of course you remember that.
So yeah, shall we have a little, if we keep having a wander, and I'll keep
have
adding
a Google-esque. One of the things that actually came up in a conversation yesterday is how, I think it's one of the pioneer species as well, that will come in first in propagating what would have been maybe a wasteland, or when land's been left to rewild.
After the Great Freeze, Silver Birch was one of the first trees to kind of re-establish itself.
Interesting when you say that as well. The in the colder climates, is it chaga grows on, I think, the Silver Birch, which is another medicinal fungi.
So in Celtic mythology, it would be known as a tree of beginnings, and came to symbolise renewal and purification, because it being that pioneer species. It's also the first tree of the Ogham, which is the Celtic tree alphabet, and is celebrated during Samhain, which is the Halloween festival that we all know. So if you see me beating Andrew with birch twigs, it's because you can beat out spirits and purify things with birch.
Read into that what you will.
And strong fertility connections with celebrations of Beltane.
And Beltane
so I think
is
actually Cash
coming up.
mentioned that birch was one of the woods you would have used for jumping the broom in.
Oh, in hand fasting.
In a hand fasting or a wedding celebration.
It's exceptionally wet at the moment. I mean, if you're here in the UK, you know rain has been relentless.
Yeah, well, basically hasn't stopped raining since last August, has it?
There is that industrial hum in the background, but we are getting further away, and you're starting to hear the birds coming alive, really, or becoming the dominant noise, hopefully.
Yeah, they're really chatty today.
So what else have we got to share that I can think of? Up and coming, we got our next community walk here out in the Forest of Dean is, what's the date? In 2 weeks' time. It's going to be at Linear Park. So it'll be Tuesday
5th. I'm in the wrong month.
You are, because I was like, no, definitely not the 5th.
I'm back in March, 16th of April.
16th of April at Linear Park, 10 till 1, so feel free to join us on that. And
there'll be soup and chocolate biscuits after, so it's worth coming along just for that.
And then on the 20th, that's the date I had in my mind, on the 20th, if you want to book to come on a foraging walk with Duncan and Cash, then that's going to be held over Angus Buchanan, and that's £20 a person, £40 a couple, and bring your the children can come free with a paying adult. So again, that's bookable online right now.
The community walks are free to attend.
They are. Community walks are free to attend. Yeah. We've also Duncan's going to be doing some basket weaving workshops with us as well, and
we should have some dates coming out soon for some mindful photography with Steve again.
Ah, yes, absolutely. Yes. So there's a lot of things up and coming, and well, yeah, a lot of conversations going on about some really exciting things coming up. And if for some reason you're not able to get out right now, if you look at a playlist here called Outdoors Indoors, then it's a lot of walks we've captured, a lot of sounds we've captured. Hopefully you can bring the healing and well-being benefits of being outdoors whilst being maybe at home. And we'd appreciate any feedback on that, please. Just drop us an email at hello@wildeearthjourneys.org, or if you look in the descriptions of the videos, you'll see a link to a feedback form, whatever's most convenient for you. But please do make use of that playlist and share it as is appropriate for you, if you know anybody who can make use of it.
So what would be the benefits of listening to that then?
What is the benefit? So we know factually that being outdoors in nature, we know the health benefits, and it's all evidence-based. But the interesting thing is the well-being benefits of being outdoors have been measured for basically watching anything which is out in nature as well. There are health and well-being benefits. So that's our intention. So we know we want to bring the outdoors indoors. So for anybody who can't independently get out in nature, we want to bring that opportunity to you, because we know it just makes you feel good.
Yeah, there's over 30 years, well, it's got to be coming up for 40 years of research soon, out of Japan, which is where this whole concept of immersing yourself in nature came from. Which, as I say, that sounds ridiculous, because as human beings we kind of evolved in nature, but we've come away from it so much in the last few years with agricultural and settlements and what we now deem as civilization. So over in Japan, this term Shirin-yoku, which literally translates as bathing in the atmosphere of the forest, because they knew that it had these benefits, and they've documented 40 years of research of being out in nature and what that does to reduce blood pressure, reduce cholesterol, reduce mental health problems including anxiety and depression. So they've got forests over in Japan where you'll turn up and they'll take bloods and blood pressure and do all of those kind of health stats before you go out into the forest and when you come out as well. And for several days afterwards, we know that, what is it, 2 hours exposure to being outside. The benefits last for something like, is it 30 days?
Up to 30 days later, you can still measure the boost in the immune system.
Yeah, but alongside all of that, because inherently we know it feels good to be outside in nature. No one ever feels worse off for going out for a walk in the forest, unless maybe you encounter a boar or something like that. But their research extended beyond being physically out in the forest and included actually what would be the benefits of hospital patients looking at pictures of nature, what's there in their rooms, and actually being able to look at nature or hear nature, the sound of birds, the sound of water, has very similar benefits to being outside in nature as well. So it was important for us, wasn't it, to be able to capture what we do for people that actually can't physically make it outside to the forest with us when we do our well-being walks.
And I think also it's interesting, you know, what you said there triggered that awareness of the, oh, was that a buzzard? I'm going to pan across, I don't think we're going to catch them. I think that was a buzzard actually, but
it's just scattered some birds.
Yeah, birds. That was the wood pigeons actually flying away, I think.
Good, bloody pesky birds.
Biophilia, the concept of how we naturally or innately belong in nature. That favourite word.
That's Andrew's, one of Andrew's favourite words.
But yeah, because it's just part of who we are, then it's common sense that even watching a video of nature, viewing a picture of nature, it just evokes or awakes something within us that, yeah, we just naturally belong there. So yeah, it would make sense that it boosts us in our well-being. I don't know if it's going to pick up. It's quite annoying that we haven't got a preview, or I've got the camera perhaps the wrong way around. That we've got some of the imagery in front of us now. We've got the old posts which were, I guess, the boundary to the track that we're on, and we see that a lot here out in the Forest of Dean, where there's the remnants of the old industry or the tracks, the rail tracks that we're running through. A lot of those today are now cycle tracks.
You can just pick them up. The other side of that fallen
oak, is it?
Oak, by the looks of it, yeah. You can just pick them up there. So
they're there. We'll get a better view in a moment, perhaps. But there's so much around here with our history, our industrialist history, from forestry, railway, iron mining, coal mining, iron ore.
Yep.
And I think that's one of the interesting things, that when we go out on a walk, whether it's we know or the people we collaborate with, or even the people who join us sometimes, there's a lot of communal knowledge that is just comes up in conversation, or we share when we have the opportunity to. Now, with these live streams, and although they are entertaining to actually set up and do, if there's somewhere here you'd like us to visit, as long as it's got a signal, let us know. And if you've got some specific knowledge,
so waiting for you to deck it.
Yeah, traversing a little gap in the pathway there.
I will die if you fall over.
If it could happen, it will. I have been practicing my my gyroscope, my human gyroscope abilities just recently. Maintaining balance is the most dramatic expression of arms. I mean, it's interesting that hopefully the sound of that water is going to get picked up.
Scots pine there.
Oh, what do we know about the Scots pine? one of the healthiest trees to be around in the warmer times when they're giving off their the gases. I can't remember the detail, but it's just one of the easiest ones to boost our immune system. I'll have to go and refresh my mind of the detail, but that was from a workshop, online workshop that attended by Diana Beresford Kruger, who's a very knowledgeable lady on the health benefits of nature, and has got an amazing history to read about in her Celtic upbringings, literally being brought up by a village.
So the Scots pine is a keystone species, so it's the backbone on which many other species depend on. And in terms of mythology, the Druids used it to light large bonfires at the winter solstice.
Oh, really?
To celebrate the passing of the seasons and to draw back the sun. They would also decorate glades of Scots pines with their lights and shiny objects, much like Christmas trees.
Ah, okay. As you're saying that, and one of the things, I guess, in our adventures here in the Forest of Dean, we've come across some really interesting pockets of yew trees. And as you're saying, that would be actually, if there is a signal in any of those areas, it'd be amazing to introduce people to the yew trees, especially over there.
That is a very magical space over there.
Very magical space, and again, a lot of history there. So yeah, we'll look into that, because that would be amazing to be able to share that space with you.
I think that would be a good shout for us to go over to Lambsky and share that space with you. But like Andrew's already said, if you've got areas that you know and love in the forest, whether you know there's a signal there or not, we can always go scout it out. We obviously need a signal for a live, but yeah, we can go do lives from lots of different places in the forest. So
yeah, and if you want to
special places in the forest with us, and we'll see if we can go live from them.
We're always open to invitations to travel further afield.
Spain,
yeah. Portugal.
Anywhere with a bit of sunshine right now.
We aim to entertain. I look at the sunshine though, it's just coming out. Now,
are you going to walk down there?
I am. I reckon I can walk down there without planting myself unceremonially. What was I going to say?
Sorry.
No. I was thinking if there's any moment that actually we do stop talking, that you want to identify what the birds are, then Merlin is an amazing app to not only use when you're out and about, but to listen back on recordings to do bird identification.
So just fond memories of our latest walk with bird identification.
Which would have been at Nag's Head Nature Reserve.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So should we just walk up to that little cut through there, and then we can perhaps put time to cut off and re-adjourn for the next adventure in live streaming.
It might be longer next time if we don't spend 20 minutes trying to figure out how to start the live stream, even though we've already done it once before.
But you know, so last time we were using...
Well, we couldn't connect the GoPro, so we did it straight onto a phone on the gimbal, didn't we? Yeah, and for some reason just ended up filming in portrait mode. And so we started off doing that today, but we just couldn't get it to work. So many kind of false alarms saying waiting for us to go live, but we just couldn't do it. So we are now on the GoPro, and it's a really nice picture on the GoPro actually. It's nice. Oh, it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's much nicer than filming from the camera on the phone. And I guess we're lucky that we do have the preview on the phone, so that's giving us a bit of a delay, but at least we know you're getting a reasonable picture. Just something about here, this is, I don't know, such an amazing little scene. Although, I say just about here, there's always something magical, I think, wherever you are. some tits over there.
Oh dear me.
Sorry, Andy.
We did tick the right boxes before we went live. Oh wow, that is slightly muddy.
Very muddy.
So mud seems to be the natural pause point where we. I'm not going to turn the camera around because it's a lot of hassle to turn this camera around now. So we'll.
And to be fair, I look terrible today. So.
We'll leave you with this amazing woodland scene. With all honesty, whilst we attempt to stop the live transmission, because you'll need to go back. You'll need to go back to the GoPro app. Yep.